I'm not afraid. Maybe you should be. She stood up. What do you want, Timmy? He shrugged. To understand what's going on. To help. You mean to see it? Show me, Dee. No. He frowned. Why not? She trusted. Me? He scoffed. A stranger with glowing gourds and riddles? What if she cursed you? I don't believe that. You believe the councilman would give you a grant. That's different, is it? His words stung, not because they were cruel, but because he wasn't entirely wrong. I'm keeping my promise, she said finally. Timmy shook his head. You sound like someone in a story. This is real life, Dee. People die here. I know. I've watched it. He looked away, then walked out without another word. That night, the gourd hummed again. Louder. Indeed, he sat cross-legged by the mat, staring at the red cloth. She didn't unwrap it, just sat with it, feeling the weight of it in the silence. She wondered what would happen if she broke the rule, if she just untied one knot, just looked. But every time her fingers got close, she heard the old woman's voice again. 7 moon rises, no matter what. So she wrapped it tighter. Mama came out from the back of the house, dragging her shawl behind her like a tired shadow. You haven't moved. I'm fine. You look like someone guarding a grave. Indeed, he looked up. What if something's alive inside? Her mother's eyes flicked toward the mat. Then let it sleep. They sat together in silence. Outside, a dry wind blew, shaking dust loose from the rooftops. Somewhere in the distance, a drumbeat thudded faintly. Someone marking the death of another elder. Mama, Ndidi whispered. Do you think I did the right thing? Her mother didn't answer immediately. She reached over and touched her hand. You did what your heart told you. That's the right thing, even if the world punishes you for it. Ndidi swallowed hard. But what if this is all for nothing? Mama's grip tightened. Then you'll survive that too. On the 3rd night, the gourd didn't just hum. It pulsed, a low rhythm, like a heartbeat. It filled the room slow and steady. Ndidi bolted upright, heart pounding. She stared at the mat. She didn't imagine it. The gourd was awake. She crawled across the floor, pulled back the mat. The red cloth was still tied, but it was warm, so warm it felt like it had been sitting in the sun all day. She pressed her hand against it. The hum stopped. She pulled her hand away. The hum returned. It was responsive. She sat back, breath catching in her throat. It was like it knew her, like it was waiting. In the morning, everything felt different. Not the weather. No, the sun still blazed, cruel as ever. The riverbed still stretched out like a scar through the village. But the air felt different. The animals were quiet. The wind had a weight to it, and the villagers had begun to notice her. Whispers followed her steps at the market. That's her. The one with the firewood. I heard she touched something sacred. I heard it was cursed. She talks to it at night. She's not the same anymore. Even the woman who used to give her tomatoes on credit turned her face away. When Ndidi returned home with nothing but a handful of dried peppers, her mother raised an eyebrow. They think you're dangerous, she said. They don't even know me. They don't need to. Ndidi felt something close around her chest, tight and sharp. I should have left it on the road. No, Mama said quickly. You did right. What they think doesn't matter. Ndidi wasn't so sure. That night, she dreamt of the woman. She stood at the edge of the forest, her back straight, her eyes like twin moons. She held a long stick in one hand, like a walking staff. At her feet was the firewood bundle, glowing softly. Do you still have it? The woman asked. Yes. Have you listened? I've tried. Good. The gourd remembers. Remembers what? The woman tilted her head. What it once was, what it will be again. Then the wind rose and carried the woman away like smoke. Ndidi woke with a gasp, her night wrapper soaked in sweat. She crawled to the mat, lifted it, and placed her hand on the red cloth. No hum, no warmth, only silence. She pressed her ear against it. Nothing. It was sleeping again. She exhaled slowly. Part of her wanted to feel the hum again. The silence felt too much like absence. On the 5th day, Timmy returned. He didn't smile, didn't joke. "Can I sit?" he asked. She nodded. They sat outside under the broken awning, legs stretched out, watching dust whirl across the compound. "I had a dream," he said. Ndidi looked at him. A drumbeat, a voice, something burning. "I don't know." She waited. He finally turned to face her. "Did you dream anything?" She nodded. "The old woman." Timmy was quiet for a moment. Then, "I'm sorry." "For what?" "For not trusting you." Ndidi looked down. "You were afraid. So was I." "I still am." "Me too." They didn't speak for a long time. Then Timmy whispered, "I think it's alive." Ndidi didn't answer, because she believed it too. By the 6th day, the well was dry. Not nearly dry, not low, gone. Children dragged empty jerry cans through the village like they were funeral drums. The stream behind the baobab trees had thinned to a muddy thread. Women knelt in the sand, digging small holes to scoop water that barely came. The sound of coughing now floated from house to house like gossip. Nothing was growing, nothing was moving, and the air itself, felt tired. Inside their hut, Mama Ajik lay curled on her mat, her lips cracked. "Didi," she called, softly. Ndidi crossed the room in 2 steps. "Yes, Mama?" "Don't waste the water on me today." "Mama, I'm not thirsty. You haven't eaten either." "Then I'm not hungry." Ndidi knelt and took her mother's hand. It was light, too light. "We'll find something soon. I promise." Her mother looked at her, half smiling. "Is that the same promise you gave that gourd?" Ndidi didn't reply. Outside, the village buzzed with tension. But not the kind you could see. It was the quiet kind, the kind that hid behind closed doors and side glances. Ndidi felt it with every step. People stared longer now, spoke less. Children stopped playing when she walked past. She went to the stream with her bucket. A crowd had formed. Women lined up in silence, their eyes sunken, their scarves dusty. One woman, tall and sharp-tongued, turned to her as she approached. "Don't waste your time," the woman said. "The stream has nothing for those who carry secrets." Ndidi's lips parted, but no words came. Someone else muttered, "First, she brings firewood. Now she brings drought." Laughter followed, the bitter kind. Ndidi turned and left without a drop of water. She walked back slowly, her bucket empty, her chest full. That afternoon, Timmy came again, but something in him had changed. He didn't knock. He barged in. "You have to open it," he said. Ndidi barely looked up. She was crushing dried leaves for tea that barely tasted of anything. "No." "Then you'll let us die for your pride?" "It's not pride." "Then what is it?" Promise." Timmy paced the room. "Do you hear yourself? You're protecting a bowl with a secret while people are dying. It's not a bowl. And it's not time." "Says who? Some strange woman with no name and bones for fingers?" Ndidi stood. "She saved me." "No, you saved her. She just gave you a burden." Ndidi's voice dropped. "You don't understand." "I understand too well. You're scared. You think if you open it and nothing happens, then all this faith was for nothing." She flinched. He saw it. "That's it, isn't it? You'd rather hold on to the mystery than face the truth." The sun had no mercy that morning. It sat heavy and burning at the center of the sky, pressing down on the cracked earth like a curse. Even the trees leaned sideways as if trying to crawl back into the ground. The village of Odu had gone quiet, under the heat. Chickens hid beneath porches. Goats bleated weakly and sought shade where there was none. And in the middle of it all, Ndidi walked with fire in her bones. She was only 19, but the world had aged her early. Her wrapper was faded and threadbare. Her slippers had split at the sides, and the plastic bag under her arm had been patched so many times it looked more like memory than material. But her eyes were sharp, bright, like they refused to dim. Timmy, walking ahead of her, wasn't bothered by heat or distance. He talked fast, moved fast, thought even faster. "Hurry, Ndidi!" he called over his shoulder. His long legs kicked up dust. "If we miss the councilman, we miss everything." Ndidi adjusted the plastic bag under her arm and picked up her pace. "I'm trying." "No trying today. You have to run. This grant, they only give it once. No money, no seeds. No seeds. No farm, no farm, no food." His voice echoed a truth she couldn't argue with. At home, her mother lay coughing on a mat too thin to cushion her bones. Their farm had turned to dust. Their riverbed was dry. They had sold everything worth selling. The grant was the last hope. If the councilman left before they arrived, hope would leave with him. She didn't want to think about that. She just walked faster. They were almost at the main junction when she saw her, a hunched figure on the side of the road, dragging a bundle of firewood tied with a worn-out rope. The load was twice her size. The woman's back was bent, her steps uneven. Each time she paused, her whole body trembled with exhaustion. Ndidi slowed. "Don't even think about it," Timmy snapped. He had stopped too, turning to glare at her. "But look at her," Ndidi whispered. The old woman's wrapper was soaked with sweat. Her hands shook as she adjusted the rope. Her eyes were dull, dry, pleading. Timmy stepped closer, grabbed Ndidi's wrist. "Did she carry firewood for you when your belly was empty? Did she feed you when you were crying from hunger? That's not—" "We don't owe her. Not today." The old woman raised her head. Her voice came out cracked like sunburned ground. "My children. Please." That was it. Just those two words. But Ndidi felt something crack open in her chest. "What if it was your mother?" she asked Timmy, her voice low. "Would you want someone to walk past her like this?" Timmy flinched. He looked away. "You know what? Go then. Help her. Miss the councilman. Ruin your one chance." He let go of her arm. "But don't come. Crying when hunger comes back knocking." Ndidi stared at him, then at the old woman. She made her choice. She dropped her bag and walked toward the bundle. "Mama," she said gently, "where is your house?" The old woman blinked in disbelief. "That way," she whispered, pointing with a trembling hand down a narrow bush path. Without another word, Ndidi bent low, lifted the firewood onto her head, staggering a little. It was heavier than she expected. Sharp ends jabbed her neck. Dust filled her nose. "You're on your own," Timmy called out from behind her. "I'm not waiting." She didn't look back. They walked slowly, the old woman leading. The sun still blazed, but something was changing. A breeze picked up. The clouds above shifted slightly, softening the light. Ndidi noticed it but said nothing. The path twisted, behind dried grass and crumbling huts. No voices, no birds, just the sound of their footsteps. The old woman's home was little more than a cracked mud wall and a sagging thatched roof. But someone had swept the yard clean. Small purple flowers clung stubbornly to the base of a tree. Ndidi lowered the firewood beside a mango tree and wiped her forehead. "I'll go now, Mama," she said, turning to leave. But the old woman reached out with a trembling hand. "One more thing, please," she said. Ndidi hesitated. "Yes?" "Under that tree, there's a clay pot. Bring it to me." The pot was old, hidden under leaves, covered in a red cloth, cracked but still whole. Ndidi handed it over. The woman untied the cloth with care, as if it held something sacred. Inside the pot was a small gourd, glowing softly. Ndidi gasped. "What is that?" The woman didn't answer right away. She held the gourd out, her hands. "Steady now. You are kind," she said, "and kind people are rare." She placed the glowing gourd in Ndidi's hands. "Keep it for 7 moonrises. Do not open it, no matter what." Ndidi stared at it. It was warm in her hands, almost alive. "After the 7th moon," the woman said, "you may open it, and your life will never be the same again." I didn't help you for a reward," Ndidi whispered. "I just couldn't walk away." The woman touched her hair. "And that is why you were chosen." When Ndidi left, the road back felt shorter. The sun had returned in full, but she didn't mind it anymore. Her arms ached from the firewood, but she held the gourd close, wrapped in the red cloth hidden inside her bag. She didn't run, she didn't speak. She just walked, slowly, steady, feeling that something had shifted, not outside, but inside her. She reached her home, 1 room, tin roof, bare yard. Her mother lay coughing on a mat. When she saw Ndidi, she tried to sit up. "Where did you go?" Ndidi knelt beside her. "To the council office. But something happened." She unwrapped the red cloth and showed the gourd. Mama Ejik stared. "Who gave you this?" "An old woman. She said I should keep it for 7 days." "Did she say why?" "She said I was kind. That after 7 moonrises I can open it, and my life will change." Mama looked at her long and hard. "Do you believe her?" "I do." "Then hide it. Some gifts are not meant to be seen too early." Ndidi wrapped the gourd again and slid it under the mat. Just then a loud knock shook the door. "Ndidi!" Timmy's voice. Her stomach sank. She opened the door halfway. "You came back? You left me on the road. I had to help her. Did you get the grant?" "No, but something else happened." He stepped closer. "What thing?" "I can't show you. You're being secretive now?" "She gave me a gourd, told me not to open it for 7 days." Timmy laughed. "So you carried firewood and got a water bottle." "It's not a joke." "Fine. But are you sure you trust her?" Ndidi looked him in the eye. "She wasn't normal, Timmy. The clouds changed when I helped her. You saw it." He paused. "I did. I'm keeping the promise." Timmy's expression shifted. "Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you." He left without another word. That night, Ndidi lay awake. The gourd hummed. A low, soft sound, like breath, like memory. She touched it once, then whispered, "I'll wait. I promise." Ndidi barely slept. The heat made the air feel like soup, thick and slow. Her mother's coughing echoed through the room, ragged and dry. The roof creaked under the weight of old rust and moonlight. But none of that was what kept her awake. It was the gourd, tucked. Beneath the mat wrapped in its red cloth, it pulsed faintly, not a sound, exactly. More like a vibration, a presence, as if something inside it breathed. Slow, steady, and alive. She pressed her palm against the mat. It was warm. "Mama," she whispered. From across the room, her mother stirred. "Hmm? Can you hear it?" "Hear what?" Ndidi hesitated. "The... Her mother coughed again and turned on her side. "That thing's already talking to you?" "I don't know." Mama said nothing more. Ndidi stared into the darkness, eyes wide. Something about the gourd made her uneasy, not afraid exactly, but stretched. Like she'd stepped onto a path with no idea where it led, but something deep in her bones told her she couldn't turn back now. She finally drifted into a shallow sleep just before dawn, the hum still soft under her mat. By morning, the air outside smelled like dust and despair. Children walked slowly, barefoot, carrying empty jerry cans. Their lips were cracked. The village well had dried again, and the stream was shrinking every day. Flies buzzed in lazy circles, and the dogs no longer barked. They just lay still, panting, waiting for something better that never came. Ndidi filled a tin basin with water, what little they had, and helped her mother wash her face. "Mama," she said, wringing the cloth. "Should I tell anyone?" Mama looked at her. "About the gourd?" She nodded. "No, not yet." "But what if it's something good? What if it can help?" Mama's face turned serious. "Good things don't need to shout. If it's real, it will show itself." Ndidi bit her lip. What if it's not? Her mother didn't answer. Later that day, Timmy came by again. He didn't knock, just leaned against the doorway, arms folded, shirt hanging off one shoulder. "You're still keeping that thing?" Ndidi didn't bother pretending she didn't know what he meant. "I told you. 7 days. Moon rises, you said." "Same thing." He stepped inside without asking. "You know people are talking. They say you're hiding something, that you threw away the farming grant for a witch's gift." "I didn't ask for anything." "You think that matters?" He stared at her hard. "This village doesn't care about your intentions. They care about results. If rain doesn't fall soon, they'll start looking for someone to blame." "Get out." Timmy stared at her. "What?" "Leave." "Didi, I said go." He turned slowly. "Fine. When you decide to stop waiting for magic, come find me." He slammed the door behind him. Ndidi's hands trembled as she lowered herself to the ground. The gourd hummed beneath the mat like it had been listening the whole time. She touched the cloth. It was warmer than ever and pulsing. That night, the heat became unbearable. Even the moon looked angry, sitting blood orange in the sky. Sweat soaked the mat. The air didn't move. It felt like the entire world had paused to listen for something. Ndidi couldn't sleep. She lit a small oil lamp and sat beside the gourd. The hum had changed. It wasn't a whisper anymore. It was stronger, louder, almost a chant, rhythmic, alive. She touched the cloth. It beat like a heart, and then something stranger happened. The walls of the hut seemed to tremble. The oil in the lamp shifted. Outside, the wind stopped. And just for a moment, the air grew cool. Not everywhere. Just around her. It wrapped around her like a shawl, soft and still. She blinked in the low light, breath caught in her throat. The gourd was doing this? She unwrapped the red cloth carefully, only enough to see its surface. It glowed, faintly but undeniably, not from reflection, from inside. She didn't open it. She rewrapped it and whispered, "I'm still here. I'm still waiting." And the coolness stayed a little longer. The next morning, she rose before the sun. The clouds were heavy for the first time in weeks, thick and low like wet cotton. People stood in their doorways, staring at the sky with desperate eyes. "Rain," someone whispered, but nothing came. No wind, no scent, just cloud. False hope, again. Ndidi swept the compound slowly, gathering dry leaves into a pile. Timmy walked past. He didn't stop. She didn't call out. At the market, the few stalls still open were nearly empty. Dried cassava was being sold at triple the price. Salt was rationed. One man offered to trade a yam for a pair of shoes. "Too bad you gave yours to a ghost," one vendor muttered as Ndidi walked past. She turned sharply. The woman behind the table smiled with no kindness. "What? You think people don't see? You walk around with your mystery, waiting for a miracle while the rest of us are dying." Ndidi didn't answer. That night, she asked her mother something she'd been afraid to say. "What if I do open it?" Her mother stirred from the mat. "Then you'll break the promise." "But what if it saves everyone, or dooms them?" Ndidi looked at her hands. "I don't know what to do." Mama Ajik sat up slowly. "Then do nothing. Not yet." "I'm tired of waiting. Waiting is part of believing. I don't want to believe anymore." "Then what's left?" Silence. They didn't speak again until morning. The sixth moonrise came without fanfare. No drums, no wind, just a dull sky and the smell of desperation. Ndidi watched it alone. Timmy didn't come that day. The gourd was louder now. Not aggressive, but present. Like it wanted to be known. Its hum vibrated the floor at night. Small items shifted slightly, near it. The oil in their lamp danced when it was close. Something was growing, changing inside it, or inside her. That evening, a child came running to their house. Her name was Chica, and she lived 2 compounds down. "There's a fight at the well," she shouted. "A man slapped a boy for filling first." Ndidi rushed outside. When she reached the well, she saw it. An old man was screaming, pointing his stick at a teenager who was holding a half-filled bucket. "I was here first," the man shouted. "I was only fetching for my mother," the boy cried. Voices rose. Dust swirled. Women pulled children back, and in the corner, standing quietly, was Timmy. He didn't move. He just watched her. Their eyes met. But he looked away. Something had cracked, something real and deep. That night the gourd didn't hum. It sang, a low, vibrating tune. Wordless, but almost mournful. It wrapped around Ndidi's ears like lullaby and warning. It made her chest feel tight. She sat beside it for hours, whispering, "I'm waiting. I'm still waiting." At one point, she thought she heard her name, Ndidi. She covered her ears, but the sound wasn't angry. It was patient, and then it stopped. Not completely, just enough to make her miss it. She woke with tears on her face. The gourd lay still beneath the mat. Her mother was already outside, sweeping the steps. "Today is the 6th, Mama said, without looking back. Ndidi nodded. "One more. Then we'll see." Timmy was gone. At first, no one noticed. People disappeared all the time, to search for food, to chase rumors of clean water to escape the eyes of the dying. But by the second day, when no one had seen him at the well, the market, or by his mother's compound, whispers began. Did he leave the village? Did he run off to the city? No. He was seen near her house. The girl with the gourd, Ndidi, heard it all. By then, the gourd's hum had returned. Quieter now, more distant, as though it too was watching. She sat outside in the shade, braiding her mother's hair when she saw the dust rising in the distance. Children screamed and ran toward the square. Shouts echoed. Chaos bloomed. Then someone yelled, "Come and see! Someone's screaming in the square!" Ndidi stood. Her legs moved before her mind did. She ran. The crowd had already gathered in a circle. In the center, Timmy writhed in the dirt, his shirt torn, his eyes wide with terror. He clutched his hands to his chest, shrieking, "My hands! My hands!" People gasped. Some backed away, others crossed themselves. An old woman muttered a prayer under her breath. Ndidi pushed through the crowd. When she saw him, her breath caught. Timmy's hands were blistered, red and swollen. The skin bubbled like hot yam porridge. He kicked and rolled, sobbing. "They're burning!" he screamed. "It burns! Timmy!" Ndidi dropped to her knees. "What happened?" He turned to her, eyes wild, not even seeing her. "The voices," he muttered. "Drums. Fire. I didn't open it. I swear, I didn't." He screamed again, curling into himself. Then the village priest stepped forward, his face grave. He knelt beside Timmy, touched his forehead, and closed his eyes. After a moment, he hissed and stood back. "This is no fever," he said. "This is judgment," the crowd murmured. "Judgment for what?" someone asked. The priest turned toward Indidi. The crowd followed. It felt like the air had thickened. Faces turned to her. Neighbors, elders, mothers of children she had played with. Their expressions were no longer curious. They were sharp, suspicious. "She brought it," someone whispered. "The gourd. She carries spirits." Indidi stood slowly. "I didn't do this," she said, her voice trembling. "He was my friend. I would never—" "He screamed about drums," said a woman. "About voices. What else would make a boy mad but the gods?" "He touched something forbidden," the priest said. Papa Aib, the eldest of the council, stepped forward. His walking stick thudded against the ground with each step. His face was hard as cracked stone. "Girl," he said. "Come." Indidi stepped forward, her knees weak. Papa Aib's eyes were clouded with age, but nothing escaped them. "What do you know of this?" I helped an old woman," she said. "She gave me a gourd. She told me to wait. 7 moon rises." "Did you open it?" "No." "Did he?" "I don't know." "You lie." She flinched. "I swear," she cried. "I kept it hidden. He wanted to see it. I told him no. I told him to leave it alone." Papa's voice was low now. "Then how did it burn him?" "I don't know." The crowd pressed in. Fear crackled in the air. She cursed him. "She walks with spirits. Let the priest destroy the gourd. Let her open it now." Indidi looked around, wild-eyed. "No," she shouted. "She said to wait, only after the 7th moon." "What? If we don't have time," someone yelled. "People are dying. We can't wait for riddles." A child began to cry. An old man sat down, holding his head. Papa Aib raised both hands. Silence fell. He turned to the priest. "Has it been opened?" The priest looked at Indidi. She shook her head. "No." He nodded. "Then the judgment is not for her." "But the boy," someone started. "He disobeyed," the priest said. "Touched what was not his. That is why he suffers." Papa Aib turned back to the crowd. "We will wait," he declared. Gasps erupted. "But until the 7th moon rises," he continued. "No one touches it. No one opens it. We will see if the promise holds." "And if it doesn't?" someone muttered. Papa's eyes moved to Indidi. "Then we will decide what to do with her." They carried Timmy away in silence, his screams fading. Indidi stood alone in the square as the crowd dispersed. No one looked at her. No one touched her. They walked around her as if she didn't exist. She stayed there a long time. When she finally moved, her feet were numb. At home, Mama Ejik sat waiting by the fire, her eyes hollow. "He tried to take it," Indidi said, collapsing, beside her. "He didn't listen." Her mother nodded slowly. "Greedy hands always reach first. I didn't want him to be hurt. And yet he is." Indidi looked at her. "Is it my fault?" "No," her mother said. "But now it's your burden." That night, the gourd hummed louder than ever. Not soft, not subtle. It filled the room. The walls trembled, the floor buzzed, and in the middle of it all, Indidi sat cross-legged, eyes closed, hands on the red cloth. "I'm still here," she whispered. "I didn't break the promise." The hum slowed, softened, and faded. The 6th night passed. In the morning, children whispered. Timmy was gone. Some said he ran into the forest screaming. Others said spirits dragged him away in the night. One old man said, "No one steals from the gods and remains whole." Indidi didn't argue. She walked through the village with quiet steps, and when she reached her door, she saw a figure waiting by the side of the house. Thin, still, it was her, the old woman. Indidi dropped her bag. "Mama," she breathed. The woman smiled. "You carried my firewood," I kept the gourd. I didn't open it, but someone else did. I'm sorry. I know. He was my friend. I trusted him. Sometimes, the woman said, the ones closest to us are the first to steal. Tears welled in Ndidi's eyes. I didn't want him to suffer. The woman touched her cheek. Her fingers were cool, soft. Pain teaches, she said. And those who rush before the time fall. Ndidi looked up. What should I do now? The woman pointed to the far corner of the compound. Go there. Under the ground is a second gift. One for the one who waited. Ndidi ran. She dropped to her knees and dug with her hands. Her fingers hit something hard, a smaller gourd, wrapped in white. She lifted it carefully, but when she turned back, the woman was gone. Not a sound, no footprints, only the faint smell of fresh rain. She sat in the doorway, staring at the second gourd. Her mother came out, saw it, and gasped. She came back. Ndidi nodded. She said this one is for the one who waited. Mama placed a hand on her shoulder. Then you must wait again. Ndidi held both gourds in her lap. The red one, the white one. One pulsed warm, the other hummed cool. They sat beside her like two hearts beating at different paces. And she waited. The white gourd didn't hum. It was perfectly still in Ndidi's hands, smaller than the first, smoother, wrapped in cloth as clean as morning sky. No glow, no pulse, no heat, just silence. But it felt heavy, not in weight, but in meaning. She sat with it in her lap under the rising sun, her mother beside her, both of them staring at the two gourds, red and white, fire and silence. She gave this one for waiting, Ndidi said softly. Mama Ejik didn't reply. She was looking at the sky. The clouds were back, thick, low, gray, like the heavens were holding their breath. Word spread fast. Not about Timmy. Not exactly. He had vanished without a trace, and people, in fear or denial, began pretending he never existed. But Ndidi, she was harder to forget. They called her the girl with the gourds, the firewood carrier, the one who waits. Some whispered she was blessed. Others said she was cursed. One thing was certain. No one trusted her anymore. At the market, she felt it most. Vendors turned their backs. Children peeked and ran. A man spat near her feet and muttered, "Witch." She didn't respond. She held her mother's basket, bought a few shriveled peppers, and walked home without a word. By evening, she was back inside, kneeling on the mat. The gourds sat in front of her like sentinels. She'd placed them carefully, beneath the window. The red one hummed softly, like it was whispering a language only her heart understood. The white one did nothing, still as a stone. But there was power in that silence. She could feel it. Mama watched from the doorway. Arms crossed. "You can still leave them somewhere," she said. "And then what? Let someone else carry the burden. It's mine now. Not everything given is meant to be kept." Ndidi's jaw tightened. "She didn't give it for me to abandon it." Mama said nothing more. On the second day after the white gourd arrived, the priest came. He stood outside their house with two elders, their expressions carved from stone. "We need to speak," he said. Ndidi stepped out, shoulders square. Though, priest looked at the gourds behind her. "We've heard. A second gift." "I didn't ask for it." "No one asks for storms either," one elder muttered. The priest held up a hand. "You say this one is not like the other?" "It doesn't hum." "Then what does it do?" "I don't know. Not yet." He studied her face. "How many days left?" "2. Until the 7th moonrise?" She nodded. The elder to his left leaned forward. "If this new gourd brings more trouble, it won't," she said. You said the same of the first. I didn't open. Either. And yet your friend burned. Ndidi looked straight at him. He disobeyed. He didn't wait. The priest placed his hand on her shoulder. You carry something powerful, child. But power alone does not make one safe, or trusted, or forgiven. He removed his hand and turned away. The others followed. As they left, one whispered, If it rains after the moon, we will call her saint. If it doesn't, we'll call her something else. That night, the village felt like it was holding its breath. No songs, no fires, no dancing. Just silence. Even the animals were quiet. The gourds sat in their usual place. Ndidi couldn't sleep. She paced. Outside, the moon climbed slowly behind thick clouds. The wind shifted once, then stilled. She walked to the window and looked out. Nothing moved, except she blinked. At the far end of the compound, beneath the mango tree, stood the old woman. Her white wrapper shimmered. Ndidi rushed outside, heart pounding. Mama! The woman didn't speak. She just looked at her. I still have them, Ndidi said. Both. I haven't opened them. The woman nodded. You are doing well. What is this second one? The old woman stepped forward. It is the answer to the first. I don't understand. You will. She reached out, touched Ndidi's cheek. When the seventh moon rises, you will choose, but not between gourds, between paths. Then she turned, walked into the shadows, and vanished. Not a step, not a sound, just gone. In the morning, the village awoke to the sight of a dead goat in the square. Its body lay curled unnaturally, eyes wide, tongue black. No blood, no wounds, just dead. People gathered quickly. It's the sign, someone whispered. She's angered the gods. This is just the beginning. Papa Aib came last, leaning on his stick. He looked at the goat, then at the sky, then at Ndidi. She stood near the edge of the crowd, not hiding, not speaking. He didn't call her forward. He didn't need to. Everyone was already looking at her. Later, as she swept their front yard, a small boy walked by carrying a calabash. He stopped, stared, and said, My papa says you made the rain afraid to come. Then he walked away. Ndidi stood frozen, the broom dangling from her hand. The day passed without conversation. Her mother made a weak broth from boiled cassava skins. They drank in silence. That night, as the moon began to rise behind the clouds, Ndidi heard the hum return, but not from the red gourd, the white one. It was faint, more a vibration than a sound, like something waking up inside a stone. She sat. Beside it, hands trembling, the red gourd for once was quiet, only the white one pulsed. Different rhythm, calmer, not fire, but breath. On the sixth day, the elders returned. This time, they brought others. Women, men, a few with sticks. Papa Aib stood in front. You must open it, he said. Not yet. If you are lying, if you are keeping salvation from us, I'm not. Then prove it. After the seventh moon. An old woman pointed a shaking finger. I've buried 3 of my grandchildren. How many more before you stop waiting? Ndidi stepped back. A voice cried out, Maybe she doesn't know what she's doing. Maybe she's the one keeping the rain away. Her mother appeared in the doorway, eyes sharp. She gave her word, Mama Ejik said, and the gods value those who wait. Papa raised his hand. The crowd quieted. Tomorrow, he said. One last chance. If nothing happens, we will act. And they left. Ndidi couldn't eat that night. She sat outside, knees to chest, the gourds in front of her, the red one warm, the white one cool. She closed her eyes. Whispers circled her thoughts. Cursed. Chosen. Dangerous. Sacred. So many words, none of them hers. She only wanted to help, only wanted to do what was right. But now, right felt like standing on the edge of a cliff, eyes closed, wind rising, and the village was watching, waiting to see if she would fall or fly. The moon rose behind broken clouds. The sixth moon. One more left, one final night. Then everything would change. The clouds arrived before dawn, heavy, swollen things. They dragged across the sky like bruises, darkening everything below. People stood outside their huts, staring upward, their necks tilted, their faces caught between hope and fear. Ndidi opened her eyes to the sound of silence, a silence so thick it had weight. No goats bleated, no pots clanged, even the wind held its breath. She rolled off her mat and went to the door. Her mother was already there, broom in hand, frozen mid-sweep. "They've come," Mama said. "The clouds?" Mama nodded slowly. "But they haven't spoken yet. All day the sky loomed gray, the sun barely pushed through," the villagers whispered. "Old men sat under trees and muttered old prayers. Women moved in slow circles, avoiding each other's eyes. Children didn't play." By noon, a low thunder rolled across the hills. Just one long growl, like a warning. People looked at each other. They waited. They waited. And nothing came. Ndidi filled their last empty jug with the thimble of water they had left. Her mother didn't speak. She just stared out the window. Ndidi finally said, "If it doesn't rain," Mama turned her head, eyes sharp. "It will. But if it doesn't, then we still wait." Ndidi nodded, but her hands trembled. Outside, neighbors moved like ghosts. At the market, the shelves were empty. The pepper woman sat in front of an empty table, fanning herself with a broken hand fan. Someone near the well fainted. The wind picked up in the late afternoon, cool, not dusty. For the first time in weeks, it smelled like wet things, soil, wood, leaf. People stepped into the streets. A child pointed at the sky. "Mama, rain is coming." Everyone turned. A drop fell, one. It hit the ground like a promise. People gasped. Another drop. Then, nothing. The wind faded. The smell disappeared. The sky turned gray again, dry again. The ground drank the drops so fast it was like they never existed. People murmured, angry murmurs, hopeless ones. Ndidi stood at the edge of the market and watched a woman fall to her knees and scream. That evening, drums sounded in the village square, not for celebration, not even for mourning, for fear. The elders had called another meeting. Everyone came, women with babies tied to their backs, men carrying walking sticks and suspicion, teenagers standing stiff. Afraid to breathe too loud, Ndidi stood near the edge of the crowd, her mother beside her. Both of them silent. Papa Aib stepped forward. His face was tired. His voice was not. "Our crops are gone," he said. "Our river is dust. Our children cannot sleep. And now, the sky teases us," people murmured. He raised a hand. "The priest has spoken with the gods," Papa said. "They are watching." All eyes turned to Ndidi. She didn't move. "They are watching her," Papa added. "They gave her the vessel. They gave her the promise." The crowd shifted, restless. Someone shouted, "Then let her fulfill it." Another yelled, "She's stalling!" A woman cried, "We are dying while she waits!" Ndidi stepped forward. Her heart pounded, but her voice was clear. "I have not opened them!" "Then open them now!" a man shouted. "The moon hasn't risen. We don't have time for moons." The woman said 7 moonrises, Ndidi said. "Not 6, not almost. 7. The priest came forward. He looked at her with something between fear and awe. "Why do the gourds hum?" "I don't know." "What are they?" "I don't know." "And yet you wait." "I wait because I promised." The priest nodded, then turned to the crowd. "She has not broken faith," he said. Let us not break ours." The crowd quieted, but not for long. That night, the sky turned black. No stars, no wind, no sound. Ndidi sat by the gourds, staring at them. Both were quiet now. Not humming, not pulsing, just still. She whispered to them. "Why are you silent now? Why now when I need you?" No answer came. She reached out and touched the red one. It was cold. The white one, too. She leaned back, her back against the wall, eyes wide open in the dark. From her mat, Mama spoke. "They are listening. To what? To what comes next?" Morning came like an insult. Hot again, dry again. The sky stayed gray but without meaning. Ndidi fetched her broom and began sweeping the yard, her body moving on autopilot. As she swept, a group of children walked past. They weren't laughing. They weren't speaking, just walking, thin arms, hollow eyes. One of them stopped. A girl. She stared at Ndidi, then whispered, "Please, make it rain," and kept walking. Ndidi dropped the broom. By midday, 2 goats had died. A woman passed out while cooking. A toddler was found in the riverbed licking mud. The village square was quiet. No gathering this time, only waiting, watching, wishing, fearing that night. Ndidi sat alone. Mama was too weak to move. The gourds remained still. Ndidi counted the days again. 6 moons. She stepped outside. The sky above her was a heavy blanket of dark clouds. No light, no stars. Just a single break in the clouds, far on the horizon. She closed her eyes and waited. And then, a sound. Soft, gentle, humming. The white gourd. Low, steady, comforting. She opened her eyes. Her breath caught. The clouds were shifting. The wind picked up. The scent of water, real this time, kissed her face. She turned back to the house, ran inside, grabbed the gourds, held them to her chest. Then she whispered, "One more night." And the humming grew stronger, like agreement, like readiness. She didn't sleep. The white gourd pulsed softly in her arms. The red one remained silent. Her mother stirred once in the dark. "Is it time?" "Tomorrow." "Then rest. You will need strength." Ndidi nodded, but her eyes never closed. The sun rose on the final day like it had something to prove. Brash, hot, blinding, but the clouds remained. Heavy, waiting. The entire village moved in slow motion. People walked without speaking. Doors stayed half open. Fires burned low. The smell of cooked roots no longer filled the air. Just smoke. Just dirt. Just stillness. And in every conversation, in every glance, there was one question unspoken but known. Would she do it? Ndidi stood outside her house, both gourds in her hands. She looked up at the sky, then at the people, then at the earth, and then at herself. Tomorrow was the 7th moonrise, and when it came, she would choose. Night fell like a curtain. Quick, quiet, absolute, no breeze, no sound, just the weight of everything that had not yet happened. Ndidi stood at the center of their home, the 2 gourds before her, lit by a flickering oil lamp. One red, one white, one silent, one humming. Her mother sat nearby, weaving an old basket with hands that trembled more than before. "Mama," Ndidi said softly. Mama didn't look up. "Yes, my child?" "What if nothing happens?" Mama paused, her fingers frozen mid-weave. "Then you will still be the one who waited," she said. "And there is power in that." Outside, the village stirred. No one had said it, but everyone knew. Tonight was the night. Fires were being lit. Doors were unlocked. Faces peered out of huts, lit by trembling flames and the hope they hadn't dared to voice aloud. There were no drums, no chants, just waiting. Ndidi stepped out into the thick air. She held the white gourd in her arms like a newborn. She left the red one behind. It had served its purpose. This was the moment for something new. Her feet sank slightly into the soft, cracked ground with each step. Behind her, Mama followed slowly, using her broomstick as a cane. The village watched as they passed. No one spoke. No one moved. Only the firelight danced. When they reached the square, Papa Aib was already there. So was the priest, and every elder, every child, every mother and trader and widow and farmer. They stood in a wide circle around the heart of the village, the place where Timmy had once screamed, where the goat had died, where fear had taken root. Now it was just quiet, and Ndidi stepped into the center. She could hear her own heartbeat. She could feel the gourd hum in rhythm with it. She looked up. Through a narrow break in the clouds, the moon emerged, full, pale, watching. The seventh moonrise. The priest stepped forward. "Child?" he said. "Are you ready?" Ndidi nodded. He stepped back. The square went still. Ndidi knelt in the dirt. She placed the white gourd in front of her and untied the cloth, slowly, with fingers that no longer shook. The fabric fell away. The gourd glowed faintly. Gold-white light spilled over the ground like moonlight in a dream. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Ndidi touched it gently, then lifted it above her head. "I waited," she said. Her voice rang out, strong and clear. "I believed. Now let the sky speak." The gourd shook in her hands. The hum became a vibration, then a sound, like music from beneath the earth, ancient and beautiful. The ground trembled. The clouds shifted, and then it cracked open. Light burst from the gourd like dawn, bright, blinding, pure. Ndidi dropped to her knees, shielding her eyes. All around her, the villagers cried out, and from within the light, seeds emerged. Small, golden seeds, glowing as if they were made of starlight. They rose into the air and floated, slowly, gently. Each seed drifted outward, carried by an invisible wind. They spun through the crowd, landed softly in the soil, one by one, and then the rain came. It started as a whisper, then a tap, then a rush. Rain. Real, thick, endless. It fell like blessing, like forgiveness, like everything they had forgotten how to hope for. The people screamed, then laughed, then cried. Children danced barefoot in the mud. Women lifted their hands to the sky. Old men dropped to their knees. The priest shouted, "The gods have spoken!" And Papa Aib, stern, unshakable Papa, wept openly beside the fire. Ndidi stayed kneeling in the center of the square. Rain soaked her wrapper, ran down her arms, into her eyes. But she didn't wipe it away. She only looked up and whispered, "Thank you." Her mother reached her, dropped to her knees beside her, and pulled her into a fierce embrace. "My child," she sobbed. "My brave, good child." "I didn't know," Ndidi whispered. "I just hoped." "And that was enough," Mama said. All night the rain fell. It filled the barrels. It washed the dust from the roofs. It turned the cracked ground into rich, dark soil. By morning, puddles glittered like silver coins. Shoots had already begun to push up from the places where the seeds had landed. Tiny, green, alive. The villagers gathered again, this time not in fear, but in joy. A great fire was lit. Food was shared. What little they had was mixed, cooked, and passed from hand to hand. And when Papa Aib stood, the square fell silent. "Today," he said, "we have seen that patience brings blessing, that faith brings rain." He turned to Ndidi, "And today we honor the girl who waited." The crowd erupted. "Ndidi! Ndidi!" She stood shyly, not smiling at first, But then she saw the faces, the eyes that no longer held fear, the mouths no longer tight with suspicion. The people who once crossed the street now stretched out their hands to her, and she smiled, not for them, but for herself, because she had held on, because she had believed, and because somehow it had been enough. Later that night, as the fire burned low and the singing slowed, a young boy raised his hand. "What did you see in the gourd?" he asked. Ndidi looked at him, then at the broken pieces of the white gourd, now resting beside the embers, and she said, "I saw seeds." The boy blinked. "Seeds?" "Yes," she said. "Golden seeds. That grew when they touched the earth. That brought the rain." Another child asked, "Can we plant more?" She shook her head. They planted themselves. They knew where to go. An elder leaned in. "And the red gourd?" Ndidi looked to the east, where her home stood quietly. "It taught me to wait," she said. "It taught me not to open what I don't yet understand." The people nodded. They understood now. That night, she walked home with her mother. Their feet splashed in puddles. The air smelled of wet earth and mango leaves. Children were still laughing somewhere behind them. Mama Ajik looked up. "Do you know what this means?" "What?" "You're going to be in every story they tell now." Ndidi laughed. "Then I hope they remember it right." "They will," Mama said, "because it's not just about you." No, it's about what happens when someone listens, when someone believes. Ndidi touched the pendant that now hung around her neck, a small carved gourd on a red string. "I'll remember too," she whispered. That night, for the first time in many days, she slept deeply. The gourds no longer hummed. There was no need. The sky had spoken, the seeds had taken root, and the girl who waited had bloomed. The rain didn't stop all at once. It came and went in bursts. Light drizzles in the morning, hard showers in the afternoon. The air grew sweet and full of life. The trees, once brittle and gray, pushed out new green with stubborn joy. The river filled again. The well overflowed, and the ground, the cracked, tired ground, began to bloom. Tiny sprouts appeared where the golden seeds had landed, some near fences, others in the middle of walkways, a few behind huts, and under trees. It didn't matter where. They grew, fast, strong, alive. The villagers called them Ndidi's seeds. Every morning, children ran barefoot between the shoots, their laughter no longer hollow. Women sang again while sweeping their compounds. Goats bleated, healthy and loud. Pots clanged in rhythm. The village had music again. Ndidi stood in front of her house and watched it all. She barely recognized the place. Everything smelled like clean air and wet clay. Even the birds sang differently. She closed her eyes, letting the sun kiss her face. Behind her, Mama Ajik stepped outside holding a small basket. "The ugu leaves are ready," she said. "If we don't harvest them now, they'll turn bitter." Ndidi smiled. "Let's get them." They worked in the garden together, a garden that had once been bare dust and dry roots. Now it was green and unruly, bursting with life. Yams, maize, cassava, beans, and the vibrant spread of vegetable leaves reaching toward the sun. "You see this?" Mama said, pulling up a small, fat yam. "Last year I planted this and nothing happened. The ground ate it. This year it pushes out on its own like it couldn't wait." Ndidi laughed. Mama chuckled too. "It's almost like the land is thanking us." Ndidi paused. "Or thanking her." "Her?" "The woman. The one with the firewood." Mama's face softened. "She was more than a woman." "I know." They finished the harvest in silence. Later that morning, a little girl came running from the village square. "Auntie Ndidi," she shouted. "Someone is asking for you." Ndidi put down the basket she was cleaning. "Who?" The girl shrugged. "She's sitting under the big mango tree, wearing all white." Ndidi's breath caught. She didn't wait. When she reached the square, everything else fell away. There, under the tree that once watched over fear, now cradled peace, sat the woman. Her back was straight. Her wrapper was spotless. Her skin glowed like morning sun on river water. She didn't look old anymore. She looked eternal. Ndidi walked slowly toward her. "Mama," she said, her voice soft, reverent. The woman smiled. "My daughter. I didn't know if I'd ever see you again." "You saw me when it mattered," the woman replied. "That was enough." Ndidi knelt before her. "The seeds grew. The rain came. Everything is alive again." "I know," said the woman. "I've been watching." Ndidi looked down. "Why me, Mama? Why did you choose me?" The woman was quiet for a long time. Then, "Because when others walked past me, you didn't." She looked directly into Ndidi's eyes. "You saw me, not for what I had, not for what I could give, but because I needed help. That kind of seeing is rare and powerful." Ndidi's throat tightened. It didn't feel powerful. It felt small, like nothing. "But it was everything," the woman said. She reached into her wrapper and pulled out something small, a pendant shaped like a miniature gourd, carved from smooth wood, polished and warm. It hung from a red string. She placed it gently around Ndidi's neck. "This," she said, "will remind you of what you carried, of what you planted." Ndidi touched it with trembling fingers. "Thank you." The woman stood. Ndidi rose. "Two. Will I see you again?" The woman looked back with that same peaceful smile. "I will always be near. Wherever there is kindness, I am there." She turned, walked behind the mango tree, and was gone. When Ndidi returned home, she didn't speak of the pendant. She didn't need to. Her mother saw it and simply nodded. That evening, they shared a bowl of pepper soup and watched the sky turn gold. The days passed gently. The people rebuilt what had been lost. Fences were mended. Roofs were patched. Songs were taught again to children who had forgotten them. And through it all, they never stopped telling the story. They told it while pounding yam, while grinding melon seeds, while nursing babies, while fishing by the stream. She carried firewood. She waited 7 moons. She believed. And always, she changed everything. One afternoon, while sitting under the mango tree with 3 small children drawing shapes in the dirt beside her, Ndidi asked them, "Why do you think it rained?" They all spoke at once. "Because you had a magic pot." "No, because the moon got full." "No, because the gods were watching." Ndidi smiled, then said, "No." They went silent. "Because someone needed help," she said. "And help was given. That's where it started." One of the girls frowned. "But you didn't get anything for it." Ndidi touched the pendant at her neck. "Didn't I?" That night she sat outside alone, the stars clear above, the village quiet but breathing. The red gourd, broken but still glowing faintly, sat on a small shelf inside. The white one, now just a shell, rested beside it. Ndidi looked up at the moon. It wasn't full anymore, just a curve of light in the sky. But it was enough. She whispered to no one in particular, "Thank you." And somewhere in the wind, soft and real, came the reply, "You're welcome." Years passed. The seeds grew into crops, and the crops into harvests. The land, once dry and brittle, became known for its richness. People from other villages came to trade, to learn, and sometimes just to see. To see the farm where everything grew faster than it should. To meet the girl who once waited under the weight of a promise. They came looking for a legend. They found a woman. Indidi's farm sat at the edge of the village, right where the river bent and the mango trees grew thick. It wasn't the biggest farm, but it was always the first to bloom. Her house had changed too. The tin roof was now thatch and clay, firm and wide. A tall water drum stood near the back, always full. Chickens pecked at the ground. Goats dozed in. The sun. But inside, by the small window where the light always seemed to land, sat two gourds. One red, cracked, still humming faintly. One white, hollow, wrapped now in soft linen. She never moved them. Some things weren't meant to be hidden or forgotten. Children came to her porch in the evenings, sometimes barefoot, sometimes carrying sticks or mangoes, always curious. They sat in a circle as she stirred soup or peeled vegetables, asking questions between gulps of air. "Auntie Ndidi, is it true the seeds glowed?" "Yes." "Did the rain really fall right after you opened it?" "Yes." "Did you really wait 7 whole nights?" "I did." "And you weren't scared?" She always smiled. I was terrified. "Then why did you wait?" She would pause here, touch the pendant at her neck, the tiny gourd on a red string, and say, "Because someone had to." The villagers never stopped telling her story. They told it during moon festivals, between trading deals, over fires after the rains. She helped an old woman no one else saw. She waited when the rest of us gave up. She gave without expecting anything. And always, she carried firewood. Sometimes travelers came from far places. When they asked about her, the children would run ahead and point toward the farm. "She lives there," they'd say. "That's where everything grows." If they were lucky, she would invite them in, give them water, show them the garden. Some asked to see the gourds. She never let them touch. But if they listened well, truly listened, she would tell them the story herself. Not the one about the rain, the real one. About kindness, about choice, about waiting, and about how small things, like helping someone with firewood, could become the reason a whole village survived. One rainy morning, many years later, Ndidi stood in the middle of her garden, watching the leaves shimmer under the drops. Her hands were muddy, and her wrapper was soaked, but her smile stretched wide. Her mother, now silver-haired and slow-moving, sat under the awning with a bowl of roasted ground nuts. "I remember when that patch over there was nothing but dust," Mama said. Ndidi wiped her hands. "Now it grows ugu like it's racing time?" Mama nodded. "This whole place was waiting. It just needed someone to believe." Ndidi said nothing. She didn't need to. The silence between them said enough. One day a girl came to the farm. Not a child, but not grown either. Her hair was tied back with string. Her eyes were sharp and tired. "I walked 3 villages to find you," she said. Ndidi poured her a cup of water and waited. "They told me you carried firewood, that you waited, that the rain came." It did. The girl hesitated. "How? Do I do the same?" Ndidi looked at her carefully. "Start by seeing what others ignore," she said. "Help without asking why. And when the world tells you to give up," she handed the girl the cup. "Hold on a little longer." The seasons turned again. New rains, new sprouts, new faces, but some things didn't change. Ndidi still walked. The rows of her garden every morning. Still greeted the sun like an old friend. Still whispered thanks to the wind. Still touched the pendant at her neck before sleep. And in the corner of her home, the gourds waited silently. Not to be opened, just to remind her. That magic was real. But kindness was stronger. In the years that followed, the village flourished. And when new children asked why the land was so rich, the elders only smiled. Because once, they said, a girl helped a tired old woman carry firewood. And from that, everything changed. If you watched until the end, comment Firewood, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your family and friends.